Hey guys, you are here because you want to learn more about how do you tell if a function has a solution, or how do you find particular solutions to a given function. So right now I have two linear equations, which are functions because they only have one output for every given input, and I want to find some solutions. And the way you do that is really quite simple. For an equation such as this, we're going to treat x as the input and y as the output. You're probably used to seeing that in some sort of table or chart, where we put the x's on one side, the y's on the other. And it's really actually quite easy. You just pick any number for x that you want. This could be 0, could be 2, could be negative 51. It's up to you what the input is. We're not restricted in the things that we can put in for x. We can put in any number. Positive, negative, whole number, doesn't matter. But every x is going to give us exactly one y, which is again why this is called a function. And you'll see why it's a solution in just a moment. But let's say we choose 0 for just a second. If I choose 0 for x, that means I'm literally going to substitute or replace 0 with, I'm going to substitute or replace x with 0 in my equation. And when I do that, all I have to do is just simplify. 2 times 0 is 0. 0 plus 3 is 3. So if I put in 0 for x, I find that y is 3. Now, why is that a solution? Well, if I go back a step and I decide to plug in this as an ordered pair, well, plug in 3 for y, 0 for x. You're going to see that, 2 times 0 is 0 plus 3 is 3, and we end up with 3 being equal to itself. That is actually the definition of a solution. It's something that makes an equation true, meaning it makes both sides of the equation equal. There's some balance there, some equality. And the way you find what that value is you just plug in for one and solve for the other. So it's really simple. If I were to plug in 2, I think it would do 2 times 2 is 4, plus 3 is 7, negative 51, I think I would get negative 102, plus 3 is negative 99. Now, let's say I have an equation where there's more than one variable on the same side. There's a couple choices here. What I'm getting at is you can pick, again, values for x and values for y, or you could straight away solve this equation to put it in slope-intercept form like this one. That means get y alone. Now, I have another video talking about how to do that specifically, so we're going to actually just try to find solutions straight away. And here's my advice. The easiest solutions are going to come from the easiest numbers. And the easiest number you can plug in is 0. And when you plug in 0, I'm actually going to plug in a y as well. We'll plug in 0 for x first. 2 times 0 is 0. And I get negative 4y equals 7. If I solve this, I just have to divide both sides by negative 4. So I'll get y is negative, 7/4. I think that's going to end up being about 1.75, something like that. On the flip side, if I want to plug in something for y, it's just the same. You're allowed to plug in things for y and find out what the x would be to give you that y. It's just usually not recommended when y is by itself, because then you'd have to solve the equation for x. But since y and x are on the same side, let's go ahead and plug in this for y. We'll get 0. 2x equals 7. Solve that simple one-step equation by dividing both sides by 2. Excuse my 2. It looks more like a z. And 7/2 is about 3.5. By about, I mean exactly. I'm going to go ahead and write it as a decimal. All right. These are all solutions, and there's no one right answer. The reality is, if I give you a list of solutions, you need to plug things in. If I don't give you a list, then it's up to you. You can find whatever solution you want. So just to sort of close this out, I'm going to give you the opportunity to do that. So let's say I have I don't know, an equation with variables on both sides. Is 3, 2 a solution to this? The answer is no, it is not. If you plug in 3 and you plug in 2, you should end up with something like 12 equals 6, and since we don't have equality, it is not a solution. But what about something like, I don't know, 5 and -1? Would that work? If you tried it again, you're going to get closer this time. But again, it's not quite going to be 6. I think you end up with 7 equals 6, and that is not going to work. You need something exact. All right, last question here. I want you to come up, since I couldn't give you one, can you come up with one solution to this function?